Welcome to Morning Message for March the 30th. Well, here we are in Holy Week. It's Tuesday of Holy Week. And I was thinking about one of the songs that's very closely associated with Holy Week. It's spiritual. It's often sung on Good Friday, but it's one of those songs that I like so much that I sing it all year long, and I find myself humming it quite often. Were you there? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? And the verses go on. Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they pierced his side? Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Were you there when they laid him in the grave? And were you there when he burst the bonds of death? I think that's the line. It's a wonderful song. It's a tragic song with an amazing resurrection ending, just like the gospel stories. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? That's the obvious answer to that question is no. Of course I wasn't. But there's maybe it's only theologians that think about these things, but there's a difference between remembering and remembrance. Remembering is something that I do. I can remember things that have happened or whatever. Remembrance is different. Remembrance is more along the line of a corporate act, something we do collectively. So, of course, I wasn't there. I don't remember those events from personal experience, but we collectively have a corporate memory of the events of Holy Week and, of course, the resurrection as well. So no, I wasn't there, but together we have a remembrance of those events that took place, and of course the resurrection as well. In this sense, it's kind of like Remembrance Day. I wasn't alive during the First World and Second World Wars. I don't have any personal memory of those kinds of things. But collectively, we do remember. Collectively, we do enter into this time of remembrance. And the hope, of course, is that it will encourage us and encourage world leaders to always be working towards peace and avoiding those kinds of things as well. The same kind of thing could be thought of in terms of the residential schools as well. I'm not personally responsible for the creation of the residential schools, but we have a corporate responsibility to acknowledge what took place, to acknowledge the error, and to do what we can in order to bring about not only reconciliation, but to raise up the people that have been affected by the residential schools. And so when this song asks, were you there when they crucified my Lord? The answer is yes. The answer is a wholehearted yes. I was there. With this act of remembrance, each and every Holy Week, in fact, each and every Sunday, we recall the resurrection. We recall all those horrible events that led up to the death and crucifixion of Jesus Christ, and we remember the resurrection. And in our Eucharistic prayers, my preference is to use the word remembrance, but some of the newer prayers use the word remembering or remember, because we don't make those distinctions in words the way that we once did. But either way, it doesn't matter what word is being used in the Eucharistic prayer, the same thing is intended, that we begin a kind of visceral remembrance of those events leading up to Christ's crucifixion and death and the resurrection, because that song includes the resurrection. It says, "Were you there when he burst the bonds of death?" And the answer to that is yes. Each and every day, Jesus Christ bursts the bonds of death. Each and every day we can have a remembrance of the resurrection and all that it means for us, the opportunity it gives us to see each day, each moment as a new opportunity to do God's will in this life, in this world, individually and corporately. God bless. Amen.